Hi guys, and welcome to a recent reads. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I have quite a few to do. Can't find one of my books. Oh well, let's just get started. This is a long one. I think this one is 9 books that I've read recently. And yeah, let's get started. The very first book is The Heist Society by Addie Carter. So this book actually got cleared off my bookshelves, and I was like, I'm going to take it somewhere else and see if I read it. If I don't, I'm going to unhaul it. And there was quite a few books like that. I had a couple bags of books like that where our family hangs out in the summer. I took it there, and we were there New Year's time, I guess, and at the lake. And this is a long story about nothing, but anyways, I picked up this book because it did sound intriguing. It was the most intriguing one I had out there. And I really enjoyed it, so I'm glad I didn't get rid of it. It was a really fun YA story. You've got to suspend your reality a little bit on these books to think like a teen could do this, but it's about a girl who like runs away to a private school because she wants to get out of this scheming family. And of course, the family does these heists for good things kind of in the storyline. Some bad things, but they do a lot of these heists. So there's this one, she gets pulled back in to save particular people in her family, and this younger guy pulls her back, and you don't know what's going on with her and that guy or what has happened. But so yeah, that's the whole thing. I hear there's a lot of these books. I would like to read more of them. I would read more of them. I had a lot of fun with these books. I think this came out quite a bit ago. 2010, top 10. So yeah, back in 2010 this came out, but I had so much fun with it. I was pleasantly surprised by The Heist Society by Addie Carter, and it was good. What is it? It was about Christina Bishop, or Kat? Probably Kat is how you say her name. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I would recommend as a YA, like, you've got to suspend reality to think teens could get away with this amount of heist stuff. Like, it is truly like in the movies where they do all like the cool stuff and break into things and steal paintings that could never be stolen kind of moment. So I would recommend. I had fun with them, and I want to read more of them. Bromance by Lyssa K. Adams. This is book number 3 of the Bromance book club, which this was the second one, Undercover Bromance. I didn't buy book number 3 because I didn't really enjoy Undercover Bromance. Loved the Bromance book club, the very first one in the series, but didn't enjoy this one as much. Crazy Stupid Bromance, I don't know if I enjoyed it as much as this one even. So that's where I landed on it. I think I gave this one 2.5 stars. This one tells about a girl that's in the Bromance book club, well, partially. And she was kind of in the last one, and she has a lot going on for like sexual assault survivors in the book. And so there's a lot of storyline there already. And she owns like this bakery or something like that, where she reaches out to them, and it's like this whole thing. They teach classes there. And then there's a guy who's in the Bromance book club who was her friend. So it's a friends to lovers story about Alexa and Noah. Alexa has this whole other storyline that goes on with her family and donations and stuff, even though she's not in touch with this part of the family. I felt like that whole storyline was like unnecessary to the story. There was already kind of a lot going on with Alexa. So to me, it just, I felt like I was getting dragged into this story I didn't really care for as much, and these people were quite awful to her. And I know it's just a supporting character through it all, being like, I will help you kind of moment. So I didn't love them in the end. I don't think it spent enough time on their romance for me to really like them. They were both kind of characters I didn't really love. I think they had a lot going for them in the end, but it's just like Alexa's story had just so much. It was so heavy, and then Noah's was kind of flat. To me, it was like that, at least. So I didn't enjoy it that much. I will be going on with the Bromance book club because there are some characters that I'm really excited to read about that were in all the other books that I really want to know what's going on with them. I love the storyline. I love the themes. I just didn't love this particular book and these particular characters in the end. Okay, so let's go on to book number 3, which I cannot find anywhere, and it's The Bridgerton, The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. I read this because Bridgerton came out on Christmas and everybody binged it. So did I. I loved it. And then I ran out and got the book from, I think it was from Walmart, and I can't find it now. It is a weird shaped book, so you think I'd be able to find it in my bookshelves. and I think it's pastel, so it would stick out, but I can't find it. I don't know if I loaned it out or what, but yeah. I didn't love the book as much as the story, the other story in the show. The show was done so well, but at the same time, I have read other ones in the Bridgerton series that I love more. So I think it's the characters I didn't really love as much, and I think they added so much to the Netflix story that I liked it more because there was more to the story kind of thing. But I still really liked it. Like when I finished it, I was excited to go on with the stories. And so I don't know, without seeing the show, if I would have read the rest of it. If people had recommended the series to me before, which I think they have, honestly, I would have read book number 1 and been like, it was okay, it was pretty good, but I'm not going to waste my time going on with more. But because of the show, I was like, oh, that was really good. It made the story better in the book. And then I really liked some of the other stories better. So I'm glad I went on with it. I'm so glad I went on with it. So I've been having fun with it. Little updated review about the future books I've read on it. But they are hard to get a hold of. I've been trying to get a hold of them at my library. They're hard to get a hold of books right now. The book I read was Mistletoe and Mr. Right. This is Moose Spring, Alaska, #2 by Sarah Morgenthaler. This came out in October 2020. I read the first in the series last year, and it was called The Attraction or something, and I didn't love it, but it was like really hyped, and so I was like, you know what, I'll give book 2 a try kind of moment, which I often do with authors if I didn't love it, because it might be the storyline or the characters I didn't love. And I really liked book number 2. So once again, I'm really glad I went on with the series. Book number 2 I thought was adorable. It's about Moose Springs, Alaska still, and it's about people who you kind of meet them in the first book, and then it's about this moose is like rampaging and attacking all of the Christmas decorations in town. So this girl takes it upon herself, because the town sees her as an outsider, as this developer. She is a businesswoman at heart, and she can make deals left and right. Her family owns like $1 billion business empire. So she has carved out this little niche in Moose Springs, Alaska, where she used to visit when she was young, and she sees it really as her home, and she wants to belong there. So she wants to catch this moose, and in comes, I think his name was Rick. Rick is a local guy. He's very about the locals. I think his place you can only eat if you are a local. You can't eat there if you're a tourist, like skiing there. And so his business isn't doing that hot. But they get entangled and involved a little bit, and he's partial to her because she's gorgeous, and he just really likes her. But I had a lot of fun with it. It's a storyline about a moose. What can you not like about it? And it was cute and fun, and I'm glad I read it. And I think the next one is already out. I think book number 3 is out. I'm not positive, but I think it is. I think they came out pretty quickly within a year's time frame. Number 5 is The Marriage of Inconvenience by Reid. This is the number 7 of the knitting series, the last and final book I read in the knitting series. And I was sad it was over because I reviewed the Winston Brothers, so I'm gonna review the whole entire knitting series for you guys. I loved them, not as much as the Winston Brothers series. But this is where the Winston Brothers spun off from, was from the knitting series, so I've got to get a knitting series let's do. But Marriage of an Inconvenience is the last girl. It's about a girl who's a billionaire. I did really want to read about her because you knew she was wealthy. It's about a girl I think it's a security guard or something. So in the other books, it alludes that this guy has always liked her, but kept his distance. You don't know why, and it's sprinkled throughout the book, so you're like really want to read about this couple. Why haven't they got together kind of moment. And the girl gets in a position where everything's starting to be taken from her, and she's not in a very strong position. She's inheriting this $1 billion company, but she's not in a strong position, so she wants to marry immediately, so she has someone to say she's sane, and her cousin's not going to say that she's unstable and take it from her. So Dan agrees right away without question. He's just like, yeah. But the whole storyline premise is about this like misunderstanding about her saying, basically he thought she's not into relationships, and he thought, I will get hurt if I'm with her, so I don't want to be with her, but I really, really love everything about her. That's what was going on in the other books, not to give anything away, but that's the whole storyline. It was a lot of fun. And that she has to get married. And so for an author to do that, you've really got to prove to me that it's ultimately their choice in the end to get married. And I think she did it, Penny Reid. I think I gave this one 3 stars, 3.5 stars. No, 4. I gave it 4. I gave it 4 stars, probably because it was the last in the series. I had fun with it. I'm so glad she wrote them. And yeah, I'm gonna have to dive into some other Penny Reid stories. I know she has a lot of offshoots now, so I know there's an offshoot of the Winston Brothers, which I'm excited for. Staying long on, it was In a Holidaze by Christina and Lauren. I did an in-depth review of this one, so put that review up above. You can click on it. In a Holidaze is this fun story. I love Christina and Lauren. They're really great romance writers, but it's about this fun story about this girl who Groundhog Day's Christmas and gets to redo her Christmas over and over and over again, and she's stuck in this time loop, and she's trying to get with the right brother because she ends up with the wrong brother the first time around. That's the premise of the story. It was a lot of fun. But if you want my full review, like I said, just click on it up above. This one, I'm sad I didn't realize it came out last year because it is self-published. It's by Tessa Bailey. She wrote the Fixer Up series, absolutely loved, but she self-published the 2 paranormal stories last year. And I'm sad I didn't read this last year. It came out last June, but This Time Tomorrow is the second in a vampire series by Tessa Bailey, so it is fun. It's vampires. And the first one, I loved it, but I didn't absolutely love the characters. Like, I love the storyline. I knew I was going to read the second book. This one, I loved the characters, so I liked the story better. This one's about a vampire hunter and a guy who is a vampire, so who longs for her. So this storyline, it's about like a girl whose mom is the head of a vampire slayer thing, and she needs to kill this guy because they met before he became a vampire, and they fell in love before he became one. I don't know if I believe that story, but the romance they go on through the book, I do believe the romance. So the original instant love story was a bit cheesy, but I loved the actual story of the whole book. I did enjoy the flashbacks, the way she the way she did flashbacks to tell the history, because you do need to download a history on these 2. But I had fun with this one. I ended up liking these characters more in the end. But yeah, I think I gave this one 4 stars as well. I was handing out 4 stars a lot in back in January when I read these. As well as book number 8, I won't go on and on about this one, The Player Next Door by K.A. Tucker, because I do have a review out on The Player Next Door. This one is a very quick and easy, simple, fluffy read. It's about a girl who hates this guy who she dated in high school. She ends up moving in next door to him, unbeknownst to her. He is a fireman and a single dad. It's a quite easy read. There is some drama with the ex-wife, and that's a lot of fun because she is dramatic. But yeah, she said she wanted to write a lighter, easier read, and that's what she did, and I think she nailed it. So I really enjoyed this one and loved it and would recommend it. And then the last book, book number 9, is also I have reviewed in full length, so you can go check that out as well. I'll put it up a link above. But it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I thought I hadn't read a V.E. Schwab, but when I was reading it, I recognized the writing. I was like, I totally have. And I do love her writing style. This is a lovely, lovely book. I think I gave 5 stars. I hope I gave 5 stars. I did. I think it was my first 5-star of the year. But yeah, it tells a story about a girl. A lot of people say it's sad. I didn't find the book that sad. But it tells a story about a girl who's immortal, and it's not a normal immortal story. She doesn't have any powers. She isn't super cool. She's actually just forgotten about by everybody she meets instantly. So it has a lot of problems in her life. Obviously, she can't hold down a job. She can't hold down an apartment, all this stuff. And that stuff comes up throughout the story. It's got a bit of a romance in it. It's super cute. Romances, I should say. And yeah, I had fun with it. I mean, she does live for 400 years. Let's hope she has some romances. Or a couple hundred years. 1700s? 18, 19, yeah, 300 years. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had fun with it. And it was a really good book. I get the hype. But yeah, check out my full review up above if you want to hear about it. And those are all my recent reads, or 9 recent reads. I need to do another one of these very soon. So I'm caught up. And I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys next time. Bye.